Good evening. A major development tonight in the Manitoba manhunt for the two fugitive murder suspects. A large number of tactical police and helicopters have swarmed the remote town of York Landing. Responding to a credible tip, the two have been sighted in that community. RCMP are targeting a specific area, but CTV News is not giving the details due to safety concerns for the officers. Now, York Landing is a tiny, isolated community, population 464, about 4 hours southwest of Gillam, where the murder suspects were last seen last week. CTV's Todd Battis is in Gillam tonight with more on this breaking news. Todd, what can you tell us right now?
Good evening, Evan. Look, this is a fast-moving story. It's changing quite a bit, but let's take you back and start off what happened a few hours ago. RCMP here in Gillam had received a tip from York Landing that those two suspects had been seen. So you've got tactical members of the RCMP who are now boarding a helicopter. This is a few hours ago, and racing. It's about a half-hour flight. You mentioned about a 4-hour drive, but a half-hour flight from Gillam to York Landing. We understand that those tactical members are there, that they have been active in a search for suspects. The chief of that First Nation imploring with his people to stay inside, lock their doors while the police conduct a search of that area. It's terrain much like this. It's extremely dense and hard to search. So they've moved the search into that area. There's fewer of them, of course, than there were here in Gillam, but it's made for what has been a very long day of searching.
200 tips have flooded into police in the past 2 days. So where could two young fugitives who don't know the area possibly be? In Gillam, officers continued going house to house, checking empty buildings and speaking with people at their doorstep. Morris Beardy received a visit this morning.
They're just asking who's all staying here, and everybody's accounted for, and everybody noticed anything suspicious, like missing vehicles and boats and stuff like that.
Officers have been boarding trains, making sure Briar Shimigelski and Cam McLeod aren't trying to slip out of town by rail. They're charged with the murder of a Vancouver man and suspected in the killings of a young couple in BC. If not in Gillam, perhaps they're out there, somewhere in the vast wilderness of northern Manitoba. The RCAF Hercules enlisted in the search spent much of Sunday over brush and bog in the hunt. Another Aurora aircraft with thermal imaging sensors has been flying at night. A massive area to cover that could be larger still if the pair have managed to leave the region with the help of others who may not have recognized them. Though mainly quiet, people are trying to resume a normal life. That said, fears remain. Reassurance arrived in the form of the Bear Clan, a Winnipeg neighborhood watch type organization that has come to patrol streets.
So we're here just to provide a sense of security for community members that are kind of disturbed and frightened of what's going on with the situation.
And Evan, we know tonight that it was members of that Bear Clan group that alerted the RCMP to the sightings of those suspects in York Landing.
All right, Todd, lots of activity now. From what we can see here, it looks pretty windy there. It's getting dark. What kind of conditions are the police and the suspects dealing with right now?
Yeah, it's a deteriorating situation, Evan. It's extremely cold. You mentioned the wind. The wind has been a problem all night, so it made it very difficult for helicopters, for aircraft to be in that area. You can bet that there's going to be a lot more police presence picking up and heading there in the morning. But if those suspects are in fact in York Landing tonight, I can tell you they're dealing with very cold temperatures. It's been raining off and on, and if they've gone back into the bush, they're facing a miserable evening, and it will be a difficult search.
All right, lots of developments there. Thanks for that, Todd.